There you go.
Here we go. All right, if we want to, have the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will now call the special joint planning commission meeting on March 25th, 2025 for the city of Cedar Springs to order at 7 p.m. And now I will call for the members of the Cedar Springs Planning Commission. So Mr. Conley has resigned, so we don't have him. Mr. Hogue. Present. Mr. Marble. Here. Mr. Marty. Present. Ms. Shandell.
Present.
Ms. Rose.
Here.
And Mr. Nixon is here. Would now entertain a motion to excuse the absent members if there is any, and I believe we have all of them. Okay. Discussion at all? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay,
Oh, John, I'm not quite clear what the motion was.
I don't know.
Are you looking?
I'm
to-
reading your thing.
Are you looking to adopt your agenda tonight?
No, the absent members, if I.
There's still somebody absent,
So,
No, yeah, no motion necessary.
okay. I'm still trying to get this.
You're at the adoption of the agenda, and then after
Okay.
that, we want to turn it over to Solon Township for them to open up their meeting.
Yes. I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for tonight.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda for tonight.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye, or opposed, say nay.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, no opposed. I will turn it over to Solon and they can start their meeting.
Okay, I will call this meeting to order for Solon Cedar Springs joint meeting. I'll see who's all here. Hal Babcock.
Here.
Brad Carey. Here. Mark Hoskins. Here. Keith Slade. He is absent. Rick Seavey here. John Tilbert. He is absent. Joe Vandenberg here. Okay. Anybody have anything they want changed on the agenda? I'd entertain a motion to accept it.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
You made the motion?
I did.
Oh, you made.
I made the motion. He seconded. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. Motion passed. Okay. You wanna run it or you?
Does not matter to me. If you would like to run it, go ahead. You have more experience than I do.
Okay,
Mr. Seavey,
Yeah.
you have an option for public comment for our board. John, would you like to offer public comment at this time?
Oh, are there any public comments from online or in the room for the city of Cedar Springs Planning Commission?
Hi there, I'll be brief. Andrew Thompson, live in Cedar Springs. I'm hoping maybe this gets addressed today. I know you guys can't respond directly or what have you, that's cool. But as I've been reviewing the plan for the new apartment building going in, I got concerned about White Creek as you're coming along south and you pass Pioneer Solon, that's the oncoming southbound traffic doesn't slow down, doesn't stop, that's 50 miles per hour. And people are going to be exiting and entering into where this apartment building is, and I just want to make sure, because I haven't seen anything either from the city, the township, or the county, and I admit, maybe I've missed it. About them doing something about that intersection, because I just feel like when you start the increased traffic. I think they said, I forgot the number, but they did a study, there's gonna be increased traffic, that's 50 miles an hour. I just picture in the morning, people trying to get out, going quick, and car accidents ensuing, so I feel like something needs to be done about that intersection. My understanding is the other exit, other than going right onto White Creek, would be on the Pine. That's going to cause a backup at that same stop sign, and my understanding is the reason it's a stop sign, and that uphill has to do with the grade, visibility, ability to stop, and all of that, so. It's not as simple as, hey, put more stop signs at that intersection, I understand that, so I'm hoping somebody can either A, educate me, or B, make sure that that is taken over the next couple of years as this is developed to the, whether it's the city, the township, or the county, to get that intersection addressed, because I feel it's a safety issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other public comments online or? All right, seeing none, I will close the public comments from us.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any public comments on, Solon side? Seeing none, we'll close that. I guess we will start into the meeting then. I guess we will start out, I see we have, roundtable discussion on the 425 agreement. Anybody have anything they wanna discuss on it? I mean, that gentleman had a very good
Yes.
point that is, I mean, that's a bad intersection there anyway, I drive it a lot.
Yes.
And I will agree with you, when you're going south, there is no stopping, because I come through there with big trucks. There's a lot of semis and big trucks coming south right there, but,
Isn't that controlled by Kent County Road Commission?
I think that would all be, anything that we've found out at the township level, we can call the county or the state and talk to them, but we have no say in it. They have to do a traffic study and that's, all we can do is make a recommendation and they decide what they want to do.
Chair, if I may comment to that.
Yes.
Jerry Gross, I do the zoning code enforcement for Solon Township. Some of you know me as being on the board for the city of Cedar Springs, but so I'm here for both of you. That is a county road. MDOT has nothing to do with that. If you go a little bit further down where it's going under the expressway, that property underneath it is MDOT. Okay. We may have to approach both MDOT and the county as far as speed control along into that section.
Okay, thank you.
Could we arrange a meeting for both Solon and Cedar Springs to talk to those entities?
I don't know that we need to, because Mr. Jerry last year he talked about when they had all the concerns about where Aldi is and stuff, he had already talked to road commission and stuff, so he's already talking to them.
I have, if I may.
Yeah.
I have addressed it with MDOT. MDOT says that once it gets developed, they'll take a look at it. Okay, down below, I think it needs to be looked at now, but that's my personal opinion. And up above and even approaching that, I think the county needs to, at a minimum, 45 miles an hour, because you know they're still gonna be driving 50 or plus, so you can't stop them. The fact that if there's a right turn there, I can see possibly creating a right turn lane for going north that would bypass the intersection period. And we just open it up where they could go through, but that would be my suggestion to them. But then that would mean that they're gonna take some of the corner there to create the automatic right turn, pull over in, so you're not back in traffic.
I talked to the road commission on that very intersection, the High Road Commission is well on their radar as it's a problem. And they have it on their wish list of things that they want to get done. But that was a while ago. Where it goes from there.
Right.
But maybe it would be good to emphasize the need now with these apartments that there's gonna be additional traffic.
I'll reach out to them from the township, and I'm sure the city manager will reach out also.
We have also petitioned, MDOT in front of Meyer to reduce speed. They did a study on that, but we haven't heard anything back yet, have we?
They're not a group of people that work fast when it comes to the small area.
That's been what, 3 months ago? Something around there.
Not 4 months.
Yeah,
You trying to drop it from 45 right there?
we're trying to drop it from 55.
I thought it dropped to 45.
Right here at White Creek it does.
Yeah, and then I thought coming,
As far as I know, it comes to the west of Meyer. This is Pass with Care. Speed limit's 55 through there. We're trying to get it dropped to something less than that.
this
Okay.
whole time, I thought in front of Myers, it was 45 till you got right past the trailer park.
No, it's 55.
This whole time, I was like, oh, it's 45.
And that is just a suggestion, by the way. I know they don't drive 55.
Oh, no.
But even out in front of Speedway, you're still 45. And with the traffic that we're gonna get in there,
Mhm.
it could be dropped less than that. I'm not sure if that's Kent County or if that is state of Michigan in front of Speedway, and that's the stretch right out here.
That's my understanding is county,
That's county.
and so it runs into the city.
You'll have better luck with county than.
The overpass and so forth is MDOT. Yeah.
What I
understand.
What I do like is how I know that we are making sure they're going in. And this is in the 425 area, but as that has been building up there by Speedway and all that, we've been adding the extra driveways. When you pull into a business, you can just go to the next one instead of having to pull back out because of the extra traffic and stuff. That I know is going to be a big help. Because where they just put in like the new storage units, we had already had that little cutout there at O'Reilly's. Just waiting on somebody to build right there, and boom. We got it met up, and so that's what we'll just keep doing that to make sure. We don't have to keep coming out on 17.
Anybody have any other comments?
What's the time frame on the apartment? We know.
This week they're pulling their building permit,
Okay.
so buildings are gonna start going up. But it'll be a 2-year project though.
I wasn't around when the 425 was developed, but it seems to me like it's been a huge, huge success.
Anybody have anything else on the discussion about it? Does anybody have any information on the historical information?
We provided that to our board. It's the master plan development for the 425. I think Kathy had some paper copies for you guys as well. It was more of just information. When the agreement was built, those were the kind of foundation pieces of that agreement. A little more lengthy than the legal agreement, but it kind of gave a lot of good information in there, just, you know, historical information on how it was developed and the history on it.
Okay,
I have a question. How much do you, when people are looking for places to go with businesses, how much do you guys in Solon, want to direct them to that area?
to which area?
The 425.
Most of them, when they come to us, they've already looked at a piece of property and they're like, here's where I have a chance to buy something, can I do this?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm the mayor of Cedar Springs, please.
Okay.
Yeah, just wondering, I just, think that I like the fact that we have this, it's just sometimes we don't work together as well as we could when we have a business working on this. Just, I know it was kind of hard with the apartments to get everything together and just, I really don't want us to have the, negativity against each other. I think that we really, it's a great thing and not that many places have the agreements. So I think that's something that we should shine on and in and, really, you know, project it as a good thing. So I'm willing to work with you guys.
Yeah, I think I have heard others mention in the past that I think our attorney, I think said it, that 425 agreement between Solon and Cedar is actually things other communities look at that.
Yeah.
Because it works.
Yeah, it does.
Uh,
And so you know, we're neighbors, let's be neighbors
Yeah.
and really get things going. I mean, we don't want to get too big, but it's always nice for both communities to have.
Yeah, I think overall it's been a win-win
Yeah.
for, excuse me, for both sides,
Thank you.
so.
Chair. One more comment. if I
Yeah.
could. Okay. The township itself has a regulation within our zoning that for developments like that on a stretch section of road where it promotes lateral drives. So you reduce the number of entrances and exits onto the main road. I don't know if we in the city, speaking from the other side of my seat here, have anything that allows that to be either. Possibly the manager has an idea. The situation with the bank and then the self-storage and stuff, that was in part, the self-storage stayed in. And because in there, it was required to have a lateral drive. And that's why they kind of continued on from the bank over, or the car parts, whichever it was, on over. Just to reduce the number of drives coming in and out. So you have certain areas that will be, a little busier at times, which don't have them popping out all over the place along the road.
I believe there is a cutout from the hotel to the apartments. I believe that's already been established when we had the hotel built. Or when the hotel was built. I believe that was already established. Because it was already established that there was possibly something that could go there. And that cutout needed to be there. So,
Driveway for the apartment complex, you mean?
yes, from the hotel. Like, I think there's like the hotel hooks up to the business to the south, I think. Or does it not?
That's small strip one,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
I can't
It's
remember.
raised.
But I could look and see.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, I know that we had talked about that, you know, making sure there was, and especially back here doing, if there was a road that came out behind family or no tractors.
Family farm home?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. There's one of them back there. There's a road coming out back there or something. There had to be a cutout behind the hotel. So that, you are right, that is all we're
John,
trying
isn't
to do
that
it.
like cross access?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Is that right away really there? Some say it is and some say it isn't. Nobody seems to know.
Which right of way is that?
Be behind the old family fair back in there.
There was a drive placed in by the city that was wide enough to have a road through there. There's a small drive, a road that comes in between the bank and it comes past the dollar store, so there is one in there that could be acted upon and possibly gone back there. But, I was trying to think of the two bigger stores out by 17 mile that.
Can I go back out on the ambulance?
It would go kind of back in behind where, yes, it was developed. There are properties back there right now that cannot be developed simply because, in the township, simply because it doesn't have a road right away.
Right.
And it was created so some of that in the back there could be developed at some time, possibly with the road that's prior to my being out there.
Yeah.
So I can only make an assumption, and sometimes those aren't the best thing to do.
I just wonder if it will ever be developed or who owns it, or what's going on with it.
You know, if I may, I thought the master plan had an extension of Sherry Street. Maybe just a little bit further back than that, not very far, that went across from Sherry Street over to White Creek on the master plan, but I don't remember what the date on that was.
That a road
It
through
looked
there
like
is
it-
on our future land use map, but that's one conversation I've already had with Wayne Harrell. The county won't pay to put that road in. So they're gonna rely on whatever that develops, that's when that road will get put in. Unconstructed Cherry Street.
Mr. Chair. May I ask a question?
Yes.
Darla, is that the one, is it looking at coming out alongside the north side of the hotel, kind of where they're developing now?
Yes.
Okay. So ideally, that common like connection area is gonna possibly be a road.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, does anybody have anything else on recent projects? The only thing I know, last year when we had this discussion, we were talking about, sidewalks. Getting, especially with this development coming in. You're either gonna be cutting across lots through everybody's parcels, or gonna be walking down White Creek. That's not gonna be a good place to walk. I mean, I don't know if anything more has been done, looking at that going forward, or,
City council has directed me to look at the parcels that our council has exempted. Enforcing, okay, now it's time to install your sidewalk,
yep.
but that. It's not gonna be 100%, so
Right.
what is your policy on sidewalks for development?
I don't know,
We don't have one as such,
yeah.
not many sidewalks in the country.
Well, I think the two things we talked about last year was signage and sidewalks, right? Just making sure that our
Yeah.
signage is similar, that there's cohesiveness between the two. And we do see a lot of people now walking back and forth, making us more walkable town. And I think with the apartments going in there, you might want people that, want to walk as opposed to drive, and then help us cut down on traffic too.
Right.
I've seen that in Grand Rapids quite a bit, where they've taken a lot of the stuff that they had and made it more bikeable rather than drivable. I think that might be something that our city would look at, especially knowing that the White Pine Trail is right here. May it makes logical sense for us to work on that together and find a solution.
Is there any thoughts of running a sidewalk that's gonna connect in so that anybody from the apartments can get to White Pine Trail? I mean, there is some sidewalk, I think it comes out as far as TTA. I'm not sure.
We had a discussion when we were talking about the apartments about putting those in, but man, that was a while ago.
Right, right.
Plans,
Yeah.
long time.
I didn't know, I mean,
Separate sides of the street.
yeah. I didn't know if that's something that you're looking at. I mean, that's something you might wanna consider, give them a sidewalk to get to White Pine Trail.
Right now, we only have a utility easement through the farm field, though. We don't have a
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
away or.
I mean, I don't know if it could be a sidewalk into Cherry Street and, you know, get to the trail that way. But I think it's something that, I mean, that's not anything with the township, but. You know, we're talking sidewalks and. What little bit I run this stretch, there's usually people on the sidewalk out here. I've been surprised, this is one chunk I don't run a whole lot of, I avoid this whole intersection. But,
That cohesive idea that you just brought up, Matthew, but about signage. A good example of, you know, how to work together, between the two groups is, you know, a good example, and the ship sailed now, but, the storage units. And O'Reilly's, and you look at the two, like, curb gutter details on both are different. And it's not a real good joining of those two ideas. And this is a good example of, you know, moving forward, if there's something that's touchy, we gotta try to. We gotta try to at least touch base and say, okay, how can we make this work good? You know,
yeah. Okay, anybody else have anything on recent project? Seeing none, we'll move on to future development. I guess who wants to start off, who knows anything about future development?
Well, I was gonna ask about Egner and how Egner's doing.
What do you got?
Well, just as far as Egner, the rezoning of the property out there has created a portion out there that's now more commercial on the east side of of Egner itself. Out to, south, not south, Solon.
No one.
are we talking about
Edgerton.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm on the wrong road.
I'm talking, I got too many townships.
Yeah.
So, okay, right. Edgerton out to Solon on the east side has been rezoned to commercial.
Mhm.
We did have a person come in and apply for moving his business out there. Haven't heard anything since he bought property, other than now he's wanting to wonder if he can put more than one business in there. I said, you'd have to bring it back again and show us what. So, opposite side of the road, on beyond the, kennel is considered to be residential or agricultural yet at this time. So beyond that, we don't have anything other than there is something that could be, depending on how successful they are, something that would generate a lot of traffic on that stretch of road, which is only going to add to the complications out there. So they're looking to try to find another way onto White Creek. But there's some complications there also. And acquiring property and things of that nature, but can't be totally divulged yet as to what it is, but
You're fine.
if it works out, it could be busy. And they're trying to keep the traffic off from Edgerton if possible, and 17 mile.
Well, it's good. I'm glad to hear that there's still people looking at Edgerton and stuff, because that is building up right there. And then Y'all are getting a lot of businesses in that corridor. That's really good. I'm glad. That's a good spot.
Yeah, and our master plan that when we've done it, we're trying to keep as much of the commercial on 17 miles.
Yes.
I mean, it's an M road, it's a good road, other than the hills. But, no, I mean, we're trying to keep as much of it there as possible as opposed to spread out through the township or wherever, but.
Yeah, you still got a lot of room there on like Francis Way and stuff. There's still a ton of room back in there. So there's a lot of room for development. That'll be
Yeah.
really nice. Okay.
Anybody call you guys on the Rite Aid building?
What was that again?
Rite Aid building? Any
I haven't
thoughts?
heard anything on it as of yet. The last I heard was that there was one of the discount stores that's interested in it. Because it'll give them a much bigger store room and warehousing and stuff. But that then would vacate one of the other ones in the area, so. It's changing positions or locations possibly. Being a smaller building, it may be easier to fill a smaller building than will the Rite Aid building. It's the same thing with, of course, that's one of yours, I believe, used to be Save a Lot, and then it became Price Cutters. I had heard that, the price was enough where it was driving a lot of people out that questioned it.
Really?
So, I don't know what that price is, but. Cause they've called me about it, I don't know if they've been calling the city or not, but, so.
Why, since I got a call on that one.
I think they did reduce the price several weeks back.
Did they? Okay, well, I probably wait and see what's going on with everything else right now, so.
Did, Rite Aid, is that up on the market right now?
Not yet,
They-
they're still in the process of closing down other drugstores, best on my knowledge, okay, I'm not an expert on it, but. What I'm getting as far as feedback from different people, it just hasn't reached out and been listed by anybody yet. Cause they're still, cause they went bankrupt and moved a lot of things out, whether it was bankrupt or not, but it was largely that, so.
No, Sparta came on the market, so one of them ran.
Did it? Okay, so
They're slowly putting them on.
I haven't seen anything posted on it yet, so. So.
All right, anybody else have anything on future development? Or anything else we want to discuss?
Yeah, the traffic in, 17 mile, 131 area. And as this, we continue to get busier and more businesses. What other than reducing speed limits has been proposed, anything? Who knows?
We had a meeting, well, that was back, was it Rite Aid? Or when Aldi's was going
When
in.
all these was going in, yes.
We actually had, I don't remember who it
I
was from
can't think of the
MDOT,
name right now, but he was on that.
but from MDOT, and
Yes, it was.
basically, there's nothing the township can do. They will do traffic studies.
Alright.
They said the first thing they did not want to do is add one more light. Because everybody's like, oh, you need a light there. Well, they told us that if they put a light there, it's gonna get worse.
Alright, I saw something in the,
And now what we do is like. Something else comes in, we make them do a traffic study. The more traffic studies that show up on their desk at MDOT. All of a sudden, maybe there's a magic number someplace, when something gets to. This busy, oh, we need to look at this, I don't know if that's the case, I know. It was said that when there's so many traffic deaths, why then they'll consider doing something, but that wasn't really what we wanted to hear, but, But basically, that's what we're doing is we just make sure we have them do a traffic study. And just hoping that if we do enough of them and the numbers get high enough, MDOT will look at it and do something. Until then, that's all we can do.
It's kind of up to them then,
Yeah.
anything gets done. I saw something in the historical paperwork there that they're proposing like a boulevard almost where you have to turn right and go. I don't know if anybody's been at Aldi at a certain time of day, you cannot turn left.
Go down.
Not gonna happen.
Right?
And I don't know, is that up to MDOT too, or?
Right turn only has been mentioned, it's all up to MDOT. And that's, when they won't do anything, that's when we ended up going, we gotta do something, let's try the speed limit avenue of it. And see if we can at least drop the speed limit through there. But that's up to them too, and we haven't heard a word back. All right. Chair.
Yes. One thing that, we had four or five residents that have been pretty regular about contacting, especially when collecting taxes, and I get to hear it. And they all pretty much chime in and say, what we really need there is a roundabout. I said, really? I says, why do we need that headache there? And they said, well, think about it. If we're worried about the speed coming down 17 mile, the state automatically has to kick that speed down. So I have to give them credit. They're right. It would definitely kick the speed down.
Yeah.
But all that confusion right off a busy freeway with Myers on the other side, I don't know, I don't understand the logistics of it. But we have these four people that they've written into the state to tell them, so I know we're not the only ones that are making comments on it.
And that whole area is gonna continue to develop. Our future land use shows that's commercial straight out to division. Commercial, industrial. Highway commercial and then neighborhood commercial farther out. And we're looking at rezoning that too. To make that set up that way from our future land use. And it's just gonna get busier with more businesses that go in. Hopefully, one of these times, they'll look hard at it and make some change, I don't know. On our end, we've done just about everything.
Everything that we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does sound like
As soon as
it's
they
waiting
slow
for
it,
MDOT, be annoying.
When they slow
When they answer.
speed limits, you're reducing the vehicle capacity of the street too. In fact, the number of vehicles get carried per hour. Yeah. And they probably factored that in. Some number of lanes and whatever.
Yeah, I know we've done on the planning commission, we've had several businesses that have went in and we're like, yeah, this looks okay, but that's an M road, you gotta have MDOT approval, see what they say. What we thought was nothing what they thought. You know, I mean, it got done, but they have their rules and their rules are their rules, I mean. But that's just the way some of that is went, but.
So the apartments are gonna be 2 years, you said? Years, to wrap it up.
The apartment development, will there be a sidewalk along White Creek? We
They don't
don't,
own along White Creek.
oh, okay. But if businesses go in there, we will now waive sidewalk, correct?
Right. Like the hotel has to go in that.
Yeah.
Because it's, they were told if the need arises, you have to put one in. It was already, that was already granted.
And when we get consecutive businesses, that's the time we put in the sidewalks. And I was glad to see the storage area put in sidewalks, that was great, you know, and O'Reilly's and probably that could have been waived too, but I'm glad it wasn't, and they didn't even ask that I knew.
What is the definitive number of apartments? I've heard several numbers.
168.
Is it gonna open in phases or is it gonna be pretty much completed and then opened all at once? Or don't know?
Sure, because they have so many other, a dog park and a pickleball courts and other things in the whole complex. I'm not sure, once they get to a building built, will it be open and occupied?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just curious on that, whether they're gonna get part of it done and get people moving in, and,
They already have a waiting list, I know that.
yeah.
I might be wrong, but I think I remember reading somewhere that phase one is gonna be done spring of 2026. Whatever phase one is. I might be wrong, but I know spring of 2026.
Might as well start getting some run.
Right?
You guys mentioned you were working on updating your master plan.
What's that?
You guys are updating your master plan, is that correct? Yeah, we're kind of in the process.
We've been working on, mainly, well, we updated it just a few years ago, but then we're updating it again. Mark's been working on it, he knows.
Going down 17 mile, industrial on the south side. Highway commercial on the north side. And then from Hucks to Division would be highway commercial.
So we're in the process of, kind of listening and updating ours too. I think it probably behooves us to maybe take a look at yours, or take a look at ours, and again, maybe the sidewalk and the signs
Yeah.
that we'll work on, making sure that we have some alignment there too, as we put those together, making sure that the businesses that we're trying to attract are, similar, at least like, hey, maybe they're better with you guys and better with us, and we can have that conversation. I don't think that'd be a bad thing for us to have as we move forward. Did you guys get feedback from the community when you guys did that too? I'm not sure how you guys, we get a lot of feedback.
We haven't had a whole lot.
No,
Yeah.
but we haven't had.
We haven't had our public hearing yet.
Zoned it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure we'll have some.
I'm sure there will be some.
It's always after the fact, right? Yeah.
There always is.
We tried to take a look at what was going on Northland Drive. Because we wrap all the way around the city. Northland Drive, 16-mile road and up White Creek. Some of that's 425, but some of it isn't. And tried to make sense of some of that. Hit and miss areas down through there too.
Yeah,
Okay, does anybody have any other discussion? Anything, anybody can think of that we haven't thought of yet? That's always the fun part of the planning commission, you're trying to think 20 years down the road.
Anything new on your end as far as water sewer going down White Creek? With some of the PFAS areas down on the edge of town down there and.
Our new well is online and producing water and filling the tower and serving the city. Big accomplishment.
Do you know how deep you had to go?
We do not.
Oh, okay, I'm just
But
curious.
we have it, restricted to 500 gallons. The capacity is much larger, but since it's gonna kind of disrupt the water flow in that area of town, filling the tower going one way and then going back to the residents, we're gonna stir it, so we have it like idled way down.
Oh, okay,
To not produce maximum yet, until we can get some of that sediment out of there.
yep,
Once that, like 30 days or so, then we can bump it up. Didn't wanna turn it on full blast and then,
stir everything.
stir everything up, yeah, no.
Did it go dry or did you have to put a little bit?
One of our old wells, got arsenic in it. So we got that immediately, so we were down to 2 wells, but we had started this well probably almost a year ago, planning and implementing it, so now that's back, so now we're back up to 3 wells.
We were fortunate to have that land donated to us for that well too. That was a wonderful thing.
Really?
Yeah, it was-
Where is it?
At the end of Ash Street. East of town.
Are you gonna have to put in another one, if anything more besides the apartment go in? I mean, where's your numbers, are they?
I haven't been part of that, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
next phase yet. I know another tower has been talked about
Oh, yeah,
on the southeast corner somewhere
oh,
on the school property. Potential location. for it.
yeah. Yeah, that's part of growing pains.
School is a big part of it. Our population, our city's population doubles when school is in, or more because of employees. It's a tremendous drain on our utilities, but so far so good.
Yeah, okay. Anybody have any other discussion on the 425? If not, I guess I'll set our next meeting date for 2026, March 31st. That's what it says here, so it looks like at 7 again. Yes, if nobody has anything else to say, I will close the meeting of the joint meeting on the 425 agreement. Do I need to make a motion on that one? Yeah, I'll make a motion to close the 425 meeting. All in favor, say aye. You will support? Okay, got it. Hurry. Anybody have any discussion on it? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same. Motion passed. And I will turn it over to John.
Okay, are there any city planning commission board comments at this time?
I'd just like to say, wherever and whenever you can put in a sidewalk, do it. You just don't really realize you get a little business here and a little business there, and it's good for both of them. And it also good for the people not to have to be walking in the streets to get back and forth. Even though it is a country, it's gonna happen.
Any other comments? Okay, so can you make a motion to close or?
You do not, you can
Just
just,
read
you can
what you-
announce that it's closed.
Okay, so seeing no other business, hearing no objections, I will adjourn the City of Cedar Springs Planning Commission meeting at 7:49.
Okay, guys.